Hello and welcome back to Motivational Mondays with Tumi Mkha. So since I'm home, I thought, why not try a young outdoor vibe here and see how that goes. You guys can let me know what you think about it. I'm not really sure because of the wind and stuff like that. Anyway, for those of you that want to know, home is Zanin and Limpopo. So this week, we're going to be talking about what Steve Jobs calls connecting the dots. I call it all things working together for your good, right? So sometimes you're in a situation where you feel so depressed and you think nothing good can come out of this, like it's over. Maybe you apply for a job and it's really that job you wanted. Your whole life you've been like, when I finish my degree, I'm going to go and apply for that job and then work for this company. Or you want to study something and then you fail, or that perfect relationship does not work out. Now I know how that can feel. It may feel like this is the end of the world and nothing good can come out of this. Well, I have news for you, right? There's a Bible verse that says, all things work together for your good. Now, my favorite thing about that is that it says all things, not some things, right? Steve Jobs calls it connecting the dots when you're in a situation where everything is so dark around you and it seems like you can't get out of it. You don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, as we like to call it, right? He says it's not easy, or it's not possible to actually connect the dots going forward. You can only connect them going back. I want to share a little story with you to explain this further. So when I was in first year of varsity, I ran for something called House Com. It's the house committee of the residence that you live in. So basically the leadership, the treasury, all the people that just run the stuff in the res, the student council of the res. Coming to me kind of confident that I was going to make it. People were congratulating me in advance. And I didn't make it. And I wasn't even home on the night that they announced the house com over the intercom. I was out with my friend. I didn't know they were going to announce it on that particular night. But I'm glad I wasn't home because, wow, it would have been a lot. I would have heard everybody celebrating. Anyway, I was so devastated. Like the next morning, I was crying. I saw the announcement on Facebook. I kept counting the names to see if there were really 10 names there. Like maybe they missed my name. It's possible. But there were 10 names and mine was not one of the names. Guys, I was so depressed. I had a test the next day. I didn't write it. Now that I think about it, I'm like, baby girl, you were being far too dramatic. But then again, I deal with disappointment better now than I used to then. Like, my heart was so broken. I actually had to go and see a psychologist. Well, one of those campus psychologists. So that I could at least get a letter to not write the paper, because it was going to be one of those things if I get to a question and I don't know the answer. Tears, I'm telling you, I was going to be crying them a river. Anyway, I think one of the things that made me really sad about that was that when I was in primary school, I thought I was going to be the head girl. I wasn't. I thought I was going to be the president of my high school. I wasn't. And now I was like, this is my final chance to actually be head student. And that's what I was going to go for. After getting into house com, I was going to run for head student. I think that was on my portfolio and my entire campaign. And I wasn't. And I felt like nobody thought I was good enough to head anything. You see? So it was 3 times in a row. And the sad thing is that all those 3 times, there were people who really believed in me, who came to me and they were like congratulating me in advance and stuff like that. But I remember sitting by the stairs. I know the story has dragged me, but here's where I'm going. I remember sitting by the stairs and I said, I actually want to see what good could possibly come out of this. But it was at that moment where I thought to myself, why don't I just become a mentor, right? At least I can make a difference, not being told what to do, what to say. And that's what I did. I became a mentor. And from being a mentor, I actually got to be a senior mentor in that same year. And normally a senior mentor is someone older, so I was kind of young to be a senior mentor. But I became a senior mentor, and from senior mentorship training, there was a lady who identified me as somebody who she would have liked to help with the whole training of mentors. And I got a job. Guys, I made money. No mentor makes money. At UCT, I was making money. Okay? I was getting paid to do a job. But eventually, I actually got trained to train mentors. And so I sat and I said, this is the good that was meant to come out of that whole ordeal. the moment, obviously, I couldn't see where this was going. I couldn't see any light at the end of the tunnel. As long as the light didn't include me being head student, there was no light. But, you know, it always works out in the end. God knew. Like, I knew where I was going. I didn't know where I was going, but I was always going there, whether I knew it or not. So this is the hope that I want to give you. Every time something bad happens to you and you feel like it's over, I ain't getting out of this, there's no light at the end of the tunnel, write it down. Write it down, and maybe a year later, 6 months later, whenever, when something good happens to you, when you finally land that job, when you finally land that master's degree, go back, connect the dots, see how it's connected to that bad thing that happened to you. I promise you, your hope will change completely. You will deal better with disappointments. Like, I deal better with disappointments now. In fact, when something bad happens to me now, I'm like, what? I want to see what good is coming out of this. And I honestly believe that through that entire thing, that's how I was motivated to actually even do what it is that I'm doing right now with these. So, guys, listen to this, okay? Write down all the tragic stuff, all the bad stuff, all the things that cause you not to sleep at night. Write it down and say, I want to see where this is going. I will find the video that Steve Jobs has about connecting the dots. I think you will be so inspired, and then I'll post it on one of my social media platforms. My name is Tumi Mkha. Thank you guys so much for watching. Here's how happy I am at home.